You're sitting in your car right now, maybe listening to this while you drive to a job you don't love. You see the billboards, the luxury, the flashing lights, all designed to make you feel like you're missing out. You buy things to pay for a life you don't even like, just to impress people you don't even care about. But here is the part that will make your stomach drop. This isn't an accident. This trap is by design. Most people don't lose money because they're stupid. They lose it because the system is engineered to extract every single dollar from your paycheck before you even realize what happened. You are playing a game where the house always wins, and you didn't even realize you were a player. My name is Nick, and I've spent the last 5 years studying why two people can make the exact same salary and live in the same city, yet one ends up financially free while the other is trapped in a cycle of stress and quiet desperation. It is time to stop trying to earn more money and start breaking the chains that are holding your future hostage. 3 years ago, I was just like you. I made $70,000 a year and thought I was finally winning. I had the car, the apartment, and the latest phone, but I was just performing wealth. There is a massive difference between looking rich and being rich. The consumption trap is invisible because everyone around you is doing it. Your friends, your family, it's the new normal.
You work 60 hours, you get a raise, and then you spend even more because now you can finally afford it. This isn't living. This is financial slavery with better marketing. The system doesn't need you to be poor. That's bad for business. The system needs you to be a permanent consumer. Poor people can't buy anything, but consumers are gold mines. You've been programmed since childhood to associate spending with happiness. You are told that your value as a human being is directly correlated to your consumption level. They've created a culture where buying something feels like an achievement, but it's actually a weight around your neck. We live in a world where a credit score is more important than actual wealth. Think about how insane that is. Your ability to borrow money is seen as more valuable than your ability to not need it in the first place. They sell you a lifestyle and then rent it back to you with interest. Your mortgage isn't ownership. It's a 30-year rental agreement with extra steps. Credit is the silent wealth killer. It is future labor sold at a massive discount to your future self. Look at the math that makes your head spin. A $25,000 car costs you $30,000 after interest, but is worth half that in just 5 years. If you invested that same car payment into an index fund, you'd have $34,000 in cash instead of a piece of melting metal in your driveway.
Every financed purchase is a choice between temporary gratification and long-term freedom. If it depreciates, don't finance it. If you can't afford it with cash, you simply can't afford it. Cars are the biggest wealth destroyer in history. We think our car reflects our success, but driving a brand new luxury SUV doesn't make you valuable. It makes you a debtor. Your car gets you from point A to point B. Everything else is ego. And ego is the most expensive thing you will ever buy. That $50 jacket from Costco keeps you just as warm as a $1,200 designer brand. The difference isn't the warmth, it's the story you tell yourself to feel. Housing is the next trap that destroys wealth through interest, and it is the one nobody wants to talk about. The real estate industry has convinced an entire generation that renting is throwing money away and that buying the biggest house you can qualify for is smart financial planning. But here's the truth. Your house is not an investment. It is shelter with a massive financing plan attached. A $300,000 mortgage at 5% interest over 30 years costs you nearly $600,000 total. You are paying double the purchase price just for the privilege of not buying with cash. Most people move every 7 years, meaning they are constantly resetting their mortgage clock and primarily paying interest to the bank instead of building equity.
Don't let the bank decide how much house you can afford. If you are house poor, you have no cash flow to invest, and that is exactly where the system wants you, stuck. This brings us to the third category of wealth destruction: clothes and furniture. The stuff you buy to make your life look like an Instagram post. Nobody cares what you are wearing as much as you think they do. You are spending money you don't have to impress people you don't like with clothes only out of style next season. That is not fashion. That is financial insanity. I know people who spend $1,200 on a single jacket just for the brand name. A $50 jacket keeps you just as warm.
The difference isn't the warmth. The difference is the story you are telling yourself about who you are based on what you own. You don't need a $2,000 couch. You need somewhere to sit. Their poor financial decisions in the furniture store become your smart financial opportunities on the secondhand market. You might say, Nick, I work hard. I deserve nice things. You're right. But what you really deserve is financial peace. You deserve to sleep at night without worrying about bills. You deserve to walk away from a toxic job because you have options. Those are the nice things that actually matter. The fourth wealth destroyer is entertainment. We've created a culture where fun requires a subscription. Netflix, Spotify, gym memberships we don't use, apps we forgot we downloaded. It's death by 1,000 tiny cuts. Fun doesn't need a monthly payment. Walking is free. The library is free. Having actual conversations with friends is free. Every recurring payment is a vote for staying exactly where you are. The hidden advantage of spending less isn't just the money you save, it's the control you gain. When you need less money to live, you need less bullshit to tolerate. Frugality isn't about deprivation, it's about buying your freedom $1 at a time. Most people think the path to wealth is earning more, but that's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in the bottom. Plug the holes first. Every dollar you don't waste becomes an employee working for you. A $5 daily coffee habit, if invested, is worth over $300,000 over 30 years. That is the most expensive cup of coffee in human history. Your money needs to work harder than you do. Step 1 is building your freedom buffer, 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. This isn't money you touch. This is the money that lets you say no to a toxic boss or a bad situation. Once you have your buffer, everything else should go into a low-cost index fund that tracks the total market. Don't try to pick stocks or time the market. Just buy the whole market and let compound interest grow your wealth while you sleep. The system wins when you consume blindly. It loses when you choose intentionally. You now know the game they are playing.
So delay one purchase this week. Cancel one subscription. Take that money and put it toward your freedom. Remember, you don't need more money. You need fewer chains. I'm Nick, and the choice is yours.